Good afternoon. We are live. Hello and welcome. My name is Kerri Wade. I am an integrative healing practitioner in Chandler, Arizona. And I am so grateful for Nicole and Yoga for allowing me to come on today and share a little bit about the emotion code. Some of you may be familiar with it. Some people probably have never heard about it. So I'm going to try to give you the lowdown today on the emotion code. The emotion code is actually based on this book by Dr. Bradley Nelson. And just to give you a little teaser, I was just glancing at the back of the book, where they have a few of the little recommendations. I thought this was really powerful though. If you are looking for a simple and inexpensive way to get healthier, make more money, and have more love in your life, look no further. Simple, effective, and powerful. It is a method that anyone can learn and use. And so that's exactly right. And I'm going to show you a little bit how to learn it and how to use it today in hopefully about a half hour's time. So anyway, thank you again to Nicole Ann for bringing me on here today. Nicole Ann Yoga not only teaches yoga and meditation, but we are a group of holistic wellness practitioners, and there are over 45. I'm pretty sure it's probably over 50 by now. This is an old number I have. And there are services such as hypnotherapy, craniosacral work, life coaching, nutritional coaching, Reiki, spiritual coaching, and so much more. It's a network of practitioners. And it was started by Nicole Ann back in 2017. And the whole goal of Nicole, what she put this together for, is to bring these experiences to you. So it's a network of practitioners. Many of the practitioners do house calls, so you can have a yoga session in your home, you can have a Reiki session in your home, or they can just help connect you with a practitioner, and you can go see that practitioner. And in times of COVID, a lot of us are doing remote sessions as well, which almost everything that is done by the group can be done remotely, which is really wonderful. So shout out, thank you again. I actually have an emotion code workshop that I do from time to time, and I have a PowerPoint for it. But of course, I'm not going to be able to show you my PowerPoint on here today. So I'm just going to kind of go through and use my notes so that I'm sure that I won't forget anything, because there's a lot of really great stuff. And this is something that you can do yourself. I am a certified emotion code practitioner. I'm also a certified body code practitioner, which means that I've done a pretty good amount of training and practicum work through Dr. Nelson and Discover Healing. And I do have it as a service in my business. So just a little bit about me. I have been an energy healer since 2004, and that's when I first got my Reiki Master. I really kind of re-engaged with Reiki and everything else spiritual in 2016. And I went to school at Southwest Institute for Healing Arts, which I know a lot of practitioners in our group have been students there. I did life coaching and hypnotherapy. I'm an advanced yoga nidra practitioner, facilitator, I guess it is. And I'm also an intuitive body-mind coach. So that's just a little bit about me. I have an office in Chandler. I also do remote sessions. We're just now getting back to in-person sessions. So beginning this month on the weekends, I am seeing people in my office because there's not a lot of people around on those days. I figure it's a little safer. And hopefully by the 1st of April, I'll be back to a regular in-office schedule and continue to do remote sessions as well. So a lot of the sessions I do, like the emotion code, are only remote. So it's an easy one. You just connect on the phone or on Zoom. So easy. But I'm going to show you how to do a little bit of this yourself. On the page earlier and in the event, I added a document, which is it's a PDF that has the actual emotion code on it. It's a chart that looks like this. And following that, there's also a list of all the definitions that Dr. Nelson uses for the different emotions. So just to give you a little sorry, I'm dropping things, a little bit of an idea what the emotion code is. It is an energy healing technique. It was created by Dr. Nelson, who was a chiropractor, and it's a very simple technique that has lasting benefits and amazing benefits. If you're like me, you've probably wondered from time to time why we make things so complicated, because we really do make things complicated, when actually this can be so easy. And this is a painless way to process things and to do an energy clearing for ourselves and for others. It's like we're constantly swimming upstream and we're exhausted. We're doing. And we forget that if we just stop and float, there you go. It's all fixed. We don't have to do that. And so, anyway, the emotion code, Einstein. Let's talk about our dear friend Albert Einstein, who taught us that everything is energy. So everything is made up of energy. And it's just a matter of vibration as to things that we see, like people, furniture, bookshelves, cars, things that we see. Those are a lower vibrational energy. And then there is life force energy. There is energy that we don't see. And these are the things that you've probably heard called prana or chi or ki, as in Reiki. And, these, where was I? Sorry. That's what I do. So anyway, emotions, very simply, are energy in motion. Emotion. There is a documentary that is on the emotion code, about the emotion code, that is out there. I know they have it on Gaia. They probably have it on some other stations as well, or other streaming services. I'm just not sure. It was on, I think, Netflix for a while, but I'm not sure if it still is or not. It was on Prime for a while. It may still be on there as well. But anyway, energy in motion. That's what our emotions are. But what happens is that we get emotions stuck in us. We call these trapped emotions. And that's what this work is all about, is releasing trapped emotions. Basically, when we experience an emotion that might be painful for us or is just too heavy at the time, sometimes we just don't have the tools to work with it, for one. Sometimes we're just not in a place that we can process it. We're just not able, it's too much, and we stuff it. Have you ever done this? Because I've done it all my life. Something painful happens, and there's so many other things on my plate that I'm like, okay, I got to put that aside because I got to move on. I got things to do. I have a job. I have a house to take care of. I have clients. I got to move on from this, right? And so these emotions can become trapped when we don't process them. And they get trapped in our bodies, basically. And so it stays with us until we're ready to process it. It continues to fester. It will continue to trigger us on certain things. We look for ways to get around it, to not deal with it when it comes up for us. Some people numb with food or alcohol or drugs or sex or work, become a workaholic. We can pretend it didn't happen. That was me. Just pretend it didn't happen. It'll go away in time. It'll just go away. Just forget it. We make ourselves really busy. Like, we keep every moment of every day in action. We are constantly busy. And, one sad thing about this, if you have children especially, or others that look up to you that are copying you, basically, our kids are mimics, right? They're learning how to handle their emotions by watching you. So, if we had a different way to process our emotions and we knew how to process our emotions, wouldn't that be a much better example to set? We can break that pattern for ourselves and our kids, we collect this emotional baggage. And I know we've all heard of emotional baggage. It's like this little suitcase full of all of our dirty little secrets and all the bad stuff that's ever happened to us or that we've done or others have done to us. And we put them all in this little suitcase and we drag it around with us. We carry this suitcase, sometimes for the rest of our lives. Many of us have trapped emotions that have been there for years and years and years. And so the only time we open that suitcase is usually to cram some more stuff in. Not to take stuff out, but to put more stuff in. And so basically what we want to do is just get rid of it. Get rid of some of that emotional baggage that we've been hauling around once and for all. And I love the emotion code because it is so simple. It makes it so simple. Simple doesn't always mean easy, but it is a simple way to do it. And it's a way for us to process things in a very gentle manner, really. So, emotions can be a double-edged sword. Sometimes we find ourselves dealing with the same things over and over. The same emotion comes up for us. It's like a constant. Maybe it's a relationship and you keep choosing the same type of relationship over and over and over. Anybody ever done that? Even when you swear you won't ever do that. We can get triggered over the same things. As I mentioned, we can push people away. And maybe one of the worst parts is that we can create disease and illness, which we will do eventually if we don't deal with these things that are going on. Emotions can also be inherited. So sometimes they're not even things that we've brought on ourselves or that we've experienced ourselves. We can inherit them from our ancestors. You might notice somebody who says, oh, I get my stubbornness from my mom's side. Yeah, you probably do. That is an emotion, and that probably has been passed down through the generations. Emotions can get trapped at any time in our lives. They can get trapped in utero. They can get trapped before we're born. We can carry them forward from past lives. And we can inherit them. We can pick emotions up from other people as well. And so, anyway, trapped emotions basically are little balls of vibrating energy. Most of them are about the size of an orange or a grapefruit that we hold in our body. They can be bigger though, like a cantaloupe. Most of us have many trapped emotions. However, not all of them might be causing you any issues right now. They may, however, cause issues down the road. And the sooner you start clearing your trapped emotions on a regular basis, the better. So, some of the problems that trapped emotions can cause. Basically, what happens is they imbalance our energy system. And when we have those imbalances and we don't deal with them, we can create all kinds of things. Physical, mental, emotional. So some of the physical problems that can develop because of trapped emotions are aging issues, allergies, asthma, autoimmune disease, back pain, cancer, chest pain, fatigue, diabetes, digestive issues, fibromyalgia, headaches, impotency, infertility, joint pain, low immunity, multiple sclerosis, neck pain, nerve pain, organ and gland issues, sinus issues, weight issues, and vertigo. Just an example, just a couple little things there. Some of the emotional and mental issues that we can bring on by keeping our emotions trapped is, dropping my thing, ADD, ADHD, addiction, anger, know anybody with anger issues? Anxiety, depression, a lot of these things going around right now. Eating disorders, fighting. Are you constantly fighting with your spouse or fighting with your kids or fighting with somebody at work? That could be from a trapped emotion. Insomnia. I know a lot of people that go through insomnia. Intimacy issues, lack of love. Do you have a hard time getting close to somebody or trusting somebody, letting somebody into your heart? Learning disabilities, loneliness, low self-esteem, mental illness, money issues, nightmares, paranoia, phobias, PTSD, self-sabotage, stress, and suicidal thoughts. As I said, they can be from any time in your life. They can be inherited. They can even be brought forth through lifetimes. So, sadly, the more trapped emotions you have, and continue to hang on to, the more that you will continue to create. That's not a good thing. So why not just release them? Trust me, it's very painless and it's very simple. And so let's get our emotion code chart. If you have it, or if you open it up or printed it out, you can do so later. If not, it looks like this. And just have it handy. And I'm going to show you how to find trapped emotions and how we remove them using the emotion code. And we can do it in just a few moments. So, discovering trapped emotions takes a little bit of detective work. That's really where the training comes in handy, because we learn how to dig a little bit deeper into things. And we get a lot of practice with it. Sometimes when we're doing these things on ourselves, we will force an answer that we want, right? It's like trying to give yourself a reading. Doesn't always work that way. So it's helpful to have an outside person to help you with it. So the first thing we do is we are going to identify the emotion in the chart, and then it's just a matter of asking the right questions. And so first, let's just talk about the conscious and the subconscious for a moment, because these do factor into the emotion code. The conscious mind, if you can picture my PowerPoint right now, you'll see a picture of an iceberg. I know we've all seen this picture. There's an iceberg on top of the water, then under the water, there's a very deep part of the iceberg. The majority of the iceberg is under the water. So the conscious mind can be viewed as the visible part of the iceberg. It receives input, it analyzes, and it makes decisions. It encompasses only 1% of the mind. 1%. Another way to think of the conscious mind is as a file that you have open on your computer. One single file, all right? The subconscious mind is the real big daddy. It encompasses 99% of your mind. It knows everything. This is a powerhouse, okay? It is the hard drive of the computer. All of the files are in there. The subconscious mind remembers everything that you have seen, experienced, felt, learned, eaten, heard, etc. It remembers and stores all of that information in that hard drive. It knows everything that's going on in your body. It knows where all of the imbalances are. It knows why you have aches and pains. It also knows what emotions you have not processed and what you need to do to fix it all. Your body knows, your subconscious mind knows. It knows your body. And if that's not enough, it's also connected to the superconscious, which is like every other computer in the world, maybe the universe, maybe beyond the universe, right? So we have a built-in lie detector in our bodies. And I'm sure some of you might be familiar with muscle testing or kinesiology. And basically, we can use our body as a lie detector. The body will answer truthfully. Our subconscious mind knows the difference between yes and no, truth or lie. And this is how we access that information that we need to release the trapped emotions. So I'm just going to give you a couple of quick muscle testing techniques. There are many of them. And in my workshop, I go through a few more of them. And I've got to get another one of those together, probably the first part of April before I get another one together and do it online. I'll put it on my page. So if you're not following my page, follow my page so you can find that. And it's Kerri Wade Healing, by the way. There's probably a link in here somewhere. There will be. So anyway, couple of really simple ones is standing. I use this one all the time. So I use it when I'm grocery shopping. I use it when I need a quick answer about something. So for example, what you want to do is you want to stand up straight. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed and back. Your feet are about hip width apart. And you just want to ground yourself. Get yourself firm, get yourself grounded, get yourself in your body. Sometimes it's rubbing your fingertips together, touching your palms. Some people like squeeze their arms. Get in your body and be grounded. And be still. And we're going to ask a yes or no question. So for example, I might hold up let's say I'm looking at different nutritional type things, okay? Let's say I've got a bottle of vitamin C. I can ask myself, is this something that would be beneficial for me to take? My body then will give me the answer. If it's a yes, my body will gently move forward. If it's a no, my body will start to lean back. Your body will sway naturally. It takes practice, so start practicing with this. And this one is so simple because you can literally do it anywhere and nobody knows what you're doing. They might think you look a little weird, but who cares about that? Try this. And the way you can kind of remember this, or the way I remembered it when I first started, was think of a plant in a window. Okay? Plants love to move towards a window. Have you noticed that? How they like reach out their leaves towards the window, towards the sunlight. Your body does that too. It's going to go forward on the positive. If it's a negative, your body is repelled by it. Okay? This is your subconscious mind at work. So for example, let's take that same plant and let's say you have in front of it, instead of a window, let's say you have a big speaker for your stereo and you are playing really nasty rap music. Now the rap music is all nasty because it isn't. I like a lot of it. Or maybe some really hard, heavy metal type of rock music with some really negative lyrics. That plant will actually be repelled by it and it will move back. Okay? Going back is like, Going forward is like, tell me more. Okay? So that's how you can remember the yes and the no. That's a long explanation for that, I realize. Another simple way that you can do it is just with your fingers. Okay? Just hook your fingers together. And you can ask yourself a yes and no question. If your fingers stay locked, strong together, that's a yes. If they break apart easily, that's a no. Okay? Start with something simple. My name is Kerri. That's strong. My name is Nicole. Okay? Simple things you can ask yourself like that just to practice with it. And practice really is key. I've practiced these things thousands and thousands and thousands of times, okay? Another great way, and I use this a lot when muscle testing on myself as well, is a pendulum. Now this is just a necklace. I didn't have a pendulum here with me, but I use this necklace all the time. You can ask yes and no questions, just like you do with your body. And let's just get it to sit still here for a second. Again, forward and back is going to be yes. And if it goes side to side like that, that's no. So you can ask the question, just get it still. You're just going to hold your hand perfectly still and say, for me, I'll say, my name is Kerri Wade. You see it going back and forth or up and down, forward and back. My name is Nicole Ann. Yeah, it's like, no way. My hand is not moving, okay? So there's a few simple ways to muscle test. Am I doing on time here? So practice those, use a baseline question. And then Make sure I'm not missing anything here. Yeah. Sometimes, like I said, our ego gets in the way when we're trying to do a session on ourselves. And so if you find yourself like really blocked and not trusting yourself, book a session. Book an emotion code session. Once we've tested, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, now that we know how to test, we're going to use the emotion code chart. You'll notice that there are 2 columns and there are 5 or 6 rows. So we are going to narrow all of these emotions down to just 5 in a really quick manner. So let's just use the pendulum, for example, right here, okay? It's not as fast as the other ones, but it might just be easier for you to see. So for example, I'm going to use myself, put myself out there. I'm going to use myself as a subject here. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I want to get connected. Let me just mention this. Emotion code is permission-based, okay? We don't do the emotion code on others without their permission. We just don't do it. It's not right. It's acting out of integrity. You can do it on yourself. You can ask a family member or a friend or somebody else if you can do one for them. You can't do it for money unless you're certified, because this work is copyrighted and protected by Dr. Nelson. But you can absolutely do it on yourself and for friends if you have permission. So number 1, get permission. Number 2, I take a moment, I ask for help from above. That's me, that's how I do things. Just like I do invocations for Reiki or any other energy work, I do one for this as well. Okay, I ask for help from above. I call in my angels, I call in my spirit team. However you connect, use it. Okay, no right and wrong here. It's not affiliated with any religion. It's just whatever works for you. When I'm working with somebody, I'm always doing it on the phone or Zoom or completely remote. And so I need to connect with them energetically. Now I'm doing this on myself today. I don't have to do that. So once you have permission, then you can start testing. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask, is this in column A or column B? Okay, so one question at a time, yes or no. So I'm going to ask for myself. First, I'm going to ask, do I have a trapped emotion that can be released right now? And I'm getting a yes. I hope you guys can see this okay. Okay. Is this trapped emotion in column A? It's saying no. Now, I can, if it's not in column A, I know it's in column B, right? So maybe I can just go to that. I always double check. That's just me. So I'm going to say, is this trapped emotion in column B? Yes. Okay. It's just a confirmation. Okay. Is this going, there are 6 rows. And each one of these little squares has 5 emotions in it. Okay, so I'm going to ask now, is this going to be in an even number row? No. It's an odd number row? Yep. Okay. Is it in row 1? Now I've got to narrow it down to odd number rows. Is it in row 1? No. Is it in row 3? Yes. And if I want to go the extra step, I can say, is this in row 5? Goes back to no. See, I've done this so many times, my pendulum moves pretty quickly. I can do it even more quickly when I'm using my fingers, or I even use an arm method sometimes, quite a bit, okay? So now I've got it narrowed down to 5 emotions in row 3, column B. Confusion, defensiveness, grief, self-abuse, or stubbornness. Can't imagine I'd be any of those. Ha ha. Being real here. Okay, so I'm going to go through them one at a time. Is it confusion? Oh, I got a yes there. I got a really strong yes. Now, if I wanted to go through each one of the emotions to double check, I can do that. I'm not going to do that here. So, following your emotion code chart in the document that is on the page here, there is a list of definitions as Dr. Nelson describes these emotions. Confusion says a disoriented feeling, foggy thinking, chaos, lack of distinctness or clearness, perplexity, bewilderment, a disturbed mental state. Oh, great. This is a great one to do on live Facebook, right? Hey, it is what it is. There's no emotion that is a bad emotion. They're just emotions. And the key is just to let them move through us, to process them. So, confusion. Now, here's where the detective work comes in. First of all, I can ask, is there some more information I need to know about this? Yes. Okay. I can ask about when this became trapped. Like I said, it can happen from any time. Now, let me tell you one thing about hidden emotions, because if you do the column A and B and the rows, and maybe you do, is it in column A and you get no, you do it column B, you get no. You're like, what the heck? Sometimes there are hidden emotions. So just ask, is this a hidden emotion? If it says yes, then you ask that it be revealed and you start over, okay? That's simple. So I want to get a little more information about this. I'm getting that I should get some more information about it. I'm 59 years old, and so I'm going to start and say, did this emotion become trapped before I was 30 years old? About half my age, right? No. Was it before 35? Was it before 40? Before 45? Before 50? I'm just getting, no, before 55? Okay, was it 56? 57? Oh, we see it start to slow down. 58. There it is. 58 years old. It just switched directions, right? So this happened when I was 58 years old. That's when it became trapped. It's not the first time I've felt the emotion. It's just when it became trapped, when I did not fully process it. Or in this case, I'm going to say I'm probably still processing it. Okay, so 58 years old. I can ask questions like, is this my own emotion? Yeah. Sometimes we get this emotion from another person, okay? We pick it up from another person. Sometimes it's an inherited emotion. And did I mention, I don't know if I did, on inherited emotions, when you clear that, you clear it for all the generations behind you and all the generations before you, in front of you. Isn't that amazing? That's a great thing, right? Get rid of that old ancestry junk that we don't need. So this is my own emotion. Is there a part of my body that it is associated with? Yeah, okay. So is it my head? No. Is it trapped in my upper abdomen? My lower abdomen? Oh yeah, it's changing. Okay. Is it associated with any particular organ? No. And you'll see on the emotion code chart as well that there are emotions that are more in conjunction with some of your bodily organs. So, but it's not attached to an organ, no. Okay, is it just in my lower abdomen area? Yeah. Okay. Is there anything I need to know about that location? No, it's just there, okay? Sometimes it's that, I can tell you for me because I am pretty in touch with my body and what's going on. It's a knot. It feels like a knot in my stomach when I start to feel confused about something. And so just for a little bit of background, those of you who don't know me, I'm going to finish this pretty soon. I promise, Nicole. For me, in the last year, I left a 38-year-long career. And I hadn't planned to leave that career yet. I mean, I intended for what I'm doing now to be more my retirement career, because I'm not that far away from retirement. I'm old. But I thought I was going to finish out my days in real estate, which is what I was in for many, many years. And, the universe had a different idea. It had a different plan for me. And so a lot of what I've been building my own business. COVID hits, stop in persons. Meanwhile, you're paying your office rent and everything else going on. It's okay. I'm able to do everything I do pretty much from a remote modality. But some people just don't really want remote. They want in person. And I understand. I get it. I have people who say, it's like, it's my opportunity to get away from my children for an hour. Right? As much as we love them, sometimes we need to do that. And so anyway, I started a new coaching program at the first of this year, just this last month. And I'm getting coaching, I'm working with coaches, and I'm going through some additional training and stuff, because one thing I learned about me is I never stop learning. I'm always learning something. And so it's through the coaching that I'm receiving, it's bringing up a lot of different things, and I'm really trying to figure some things out, some programs to offer the best way to move on things. So yeah, there's some confusion in there. So is there anything else that I need to know about this emotion, or can I release? I don't want to ask two questions. Is there anything else I need to know? No. Can I remove this emotion now? Yes, I can release it. So I didn't bring a magnet in with me. You can use a magnet, and basically we're running a magnet down our general meridian to release the emotion. And we set our intention. We ask for help. We set our intention to release it. And then I'm going to check and make sure I've released it. If you don't have a magnet, use your hands. You are magnetic. Okay? So just use your fingers to run over. Asking for me, I'm asking God and my angels to remove this trapped emotion. Now, you only have to swipe 3 times unless it's an inherited emotion. Then you do 10 times, okay? You can also run, if you're doing it on somebody else, you can run your fingers down their back as well. And so when I'm doing these emotions remotely, I'm using myself as proxy, and I'm removing these emotions from my clients. Okay, it's as easy as that. So I'm just going to double check. Has that emotion been released? And I'm getting, yep, it has. Okay, so here's what happens next. Sometimes your subconscious will just do the work for you. There's nothing more to do. You won't think about it again. Sometimes you will have to do a little bit of processing on it. So what I tell clients is it never lasts for more than 1 or 2 days. Okay. Thank you for putting that link on there. Thank you. Nicole just added a link on here about the emotion code. You may notice, I'm sorry, my dog has decided to bark in the background. There's somebody at the door. You may notice yourself feeling a little bit more emotional, a little more on edge. Maybe some stuff will come up, especially these emotions that we've carried around since childhood, our teenage years, for those of us who are older. They're things that have been in there a long time. So for me, I process in my dreams a lot. Pay attention to your dreams. I will experience my guides and myself doing this work in my dreams. That's one way I process things. So just be aware that can happen. It doesn't happen to everyone. It doesn't happen every time, but it can happen once in a while. So just be aware of that. And that's really pretty much it. We went from 60 down to 5 emotions, down to 1 emotion very quickly. The more you do the muscle testing, the faster you can do this. I can go through an emotion code session if I'm doing it remotely in about 10 minutes and have 8 or 10 emotions released. So you'll get faster as you do it more. And, when I'm working with somebody either on the phone or on Zoom, we use a little bit of our time to discuss it. Usually the sessions are about 30 minutes. Now there are also heart walls. That's a whole other thing I won't get into today, but you can read more about them on my website, which is just kerriwade.com. And it's KERRIWADE.com. And you can read more about heart walls. Heart walls are simply a group or several emotions that have built up this heart wall, this little wall around your heart. If you've been hurt badly in a relationship, for example, and maybe you've just never really let go of a lot of that. It's, we put these emotions around our heart to protect us so that we don't do the same thing, or the same thing doesn't happen again. Unfortunately, it blocks us from everything. It can block us from all abundance, not just love and relationships. So I do have heart well sessions, which is typically 3 sessions. It takes 3 sessions. And if we need a 4th session, that is also included in the package. I do a lot of Reiki plus emotion code, where we're doing releasing some emotions first and then doing a Reiki session, 30 minutes or an hour or whatever. And so anyway, check it out. And again, thank you so much to Nicole and Yoga and this wonderful group of practitioners. No matter what you need, if you need somebody to come to your house and teach you how to do yoga, if you need a nutritional coach, if you need a hypnotherapist, hopefully you'll choose me, but if you want to choose somebody else, I'm fine with that. We all have our own thing, right? Craniosacral. There's so many modalities represented here. And so visit NicoleandYoga.com. I hope that's the right one. And reach out to Nicole if you have any questions. Reach out to me if you have any questions. Follow me on Facebook. I'm going to be back here again next month talking about Reiki, I think, right? Reiki. And I also do a live Reiki on my Facebook page, typically every Tuesday night. I'm going to be making some changes in that. But you can come and join in at Kerri Wade Healing on Facebook. And it's also Kerri Wade Healing on Instagram if you want to follow one there. And I'll be here doing some live Reiki next month. So watch for that announcement. And come and join in and just soak up some of that yummy, 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 yummy energy. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to be here with you guys. And I went over by 10 minutes. I'm so sorry. It's hard for me to stop talking once I get started. So have a great day, and I hope to talk to you soon.